These are the craziest mistakes that got serial killers caught.
Maury Travis. Between 2000 and 2002, Maury Travis murdered at least 12 women in the St. Louis area.
12 women? Oh my God!
Mainly targeted sex
God, the
workers,
mess.
bringing them to his home, where he had built a torture room in his basement. He
What
recorded his
what?
crimes on video. Travis might have continued killing, if not for one
Man, how?
published an article about victim Teresa Wilson. Travis couldn't resist responding. He sent an anonymous letter to the newspaper writing, "I'll tell you where many others are, and to prove I'm real, here are directions to number 17. With the letter, he included a map showing where to find a body. What Travis didn't know was that the
Why
map
would he
came
do
from
that?
Expedia.com, which tracked its users. FBI investigators contacted Expedia.
What
and
a
got list
smart
of IP
guy.
addresses that had accessed their mapping service, and one of those addresses
It's a good thing that
belonged to
people like this
Travis.
got caught,
When
though,
police searched
because
his
he's
home in
dumb,
June
and I
2002,
can't believe he
they
did
found
something
his
like
torture
that.
room, newspaper clippings about his crimes, and videos of Travis killing his victims. During questioning,
Oh my
he slipped up
goodness!
again by asking to see the murdered girls, even though police hadn't told him the women were dead. DNA from a soda can Travis used matched the evidence from 2 victims. The case was solid, but Travis unalived himself in jail 3 days after his arrest.
Oh my goodness!
Desiree Landru. Between 1915 and 1919, Henri Landru killed at least 11 people in France. The 40-year-old man targeted lonely widows during World War I, placing ads in newspapers in which he claimed to be a respectable widower looking for marriage. Landru charmed women who had money, convinced them to sell their things and move in with him. Then
that is so sad.
What led to his capture was a small
mess.
Investigators found that when Landru took victims to his country house, he always bought one-way tickets for them, but round-trip tickets for himself. This pattern showed he knew these women would never come back. The police wasn't able to find direct evidence, only some bone fragments and teeth in his stove and garden. This, combined with the one-way tickets, was enough to identify him as the murderer. Landru was found guilty of 11 murders on November 30th, 1921.
Oh my
goodness! He was executed by guillotine on February 25th, 1922. Lamarck's Devin McWilliams. Between 2006 and 2009, Lamarck's Devin McWilliams attacked and killed several women in the Acres Homes area of Houston, Texas.
Why he do that?
Went after women who worked as prostitutes, hurt them, and left their bodies in ditches and behind buildings. McWilliams' biggest mistake happened in August 2009 when he took a woman named Chelsea Brazier. After attacking her, he put her in the trunk of his car. While driving, his car got stuck in the
trunk.
He took Brazier out of the trunk and told her to drive while he pushed. When the car broke free, Brazier drove away and called the police instead of coming back for McWilliams. This escape led right to McWilliams'
Why would you think
police
they would have just not escaped?
His DNA. In just 2 days,
dumb.
they found out his DNA matched the DNA recovered at several crime
I think
scenes in the Acres home area.
dumb.
Another important clue was that McWilliams had a Scales of Justice tattoo on his arm, which people had seen on the killer. McWilliams was found guilty of sexual assault and got a life sentence in prison. Bobby Joe
Thank God.
Between March and November 1984, Bobby Joe Long killed at least 10 women in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. The 31-year-old man used to dump their bodies in remote areas around the city. However, Long's worst mistake happened when he took Lisa McVeigh on November 3, 1984. He kept her for 26 hours in his apartment and attacked her many times. But unlike his other victims, Long decided to let McVeigh go. He put a blindfold on her, drove her near where he had taken her, and set her free. While held captive, McVeigh was smart and brave. Thinking she would be killed, she made sure to leave her fingerprints everywhere in Long's bathroom. She
that's smart, actually.
Apartment, noted what his car felt like, and remembered every detail she could while blindfolded. When she was free, McVeigh went straight to the police with all this information. She told them Long drove a red Dodge Magnum and gave details about his apartment. With her good description, police found Long quickly. Police arrested Long on November 16, 1984. The evidence linked him to several murders. When questioned, Long admitted to 8 killings and many other attacks. Long was found guilty and
she was very smart for doing that.
4 years in prison. He was executed on May 23, 2019.
Oh wow.
Dean
Coral. Yeah, he needed to be executed.
Between 1970 and 1973, Dean Coral killed at least 29 teenage boys.
29?
The 33-year-old had 2 teenage helpers, David Brooks and Elmer Wayne Henley, who would bring him victims. Coral ordered his helpers to bring boys to his house with offers of beer, drugs, or parties. Once
and it's teenagers. That's actually crazy.
Handcuffs or just grabbed by force. They were then tied to a board where Coral would attack them before killing them. Coral's mistake came on August 8, 1973, when Henley brought a male friend named Tim Curley and a female friend named Rhonda Williams to Coral's house. Coral got angry about bringing a girl, and after they all passed out from drinking and drugs, he tied them up. When Henley woke up, Coral said he was going to kill all 3 of them. Henley talked Coral into untying him by saying he would help hurt the others. Once free, Henley grabbed Coral's gun and killed him. Henley then called the
Oh,
police
wow.
and told them everything. Police found bodies buried in a boat shed at a beach, and
That was
both
smart for
Henley
him to
and
do
Brooks
that.
went to prison for life for helping with the murders. Wayne Williams. Between 1979 and 1981, at least 28 black men were killed in Atlanta,
Oh
Georgia.
my goodness.
Wayne Williams, a 23-year-old black man who worked in music, was caught and found guilty of 2 of these killings, though police think he did many more. Williams became a
Probably.
suspect on May 22, 1981, when police watching a bridge heard a splash in the water below. Williams' car was the first to cross the bridge after this sound. When stopped, he told police a fake story about meeting a singer named Cheryl Johnson, who wasn't real. 2 days
Who
later,
is Cheryl
the body of
Johnson?
Nathaniel Cater, a 27-year-old man, was found in the river. Police believed Williams had thrown Cater's body from the bridge that night. The main proof against him was carpet fibers found on victims that matched the rare carpet in Williams' home.
Oh,
On
no
June
way.
21st, 1981, Williams was arrested for killing Cater and another man, Jimmy Ray Payne. He was later found guilty and got a life sentence. Robert Burdella.
God.
Between 1984 and 1987, Robert Burdella kidnapped, attacked, and killed at least 6 men in Kansas City, Missouri. The 39-year-old
Insane.
kept careful notes of what he did to his victims, who were held for days or even weeks before they died. Burdella's plan was to bring men to his house on Charlotte Street, often by offering them a place to stay or by putting drugs in their food or drinks. Once they passed out, he would tie them to his bed and start attacking them. He even took photos of his victims during the whole thing. Burdella was caught when his last victim, Christopher Bryson, got away. On March 29, 1988, after being held for 4 days, Bryson burned through his ropes using matches Burdella had left nearby.
No way!
Wearing only a dog collar, Bryson jumped from a second-floor window and ran to a neighbor for help. When police looked through Burdella's house, they found scary proof. His notes about the torture, hundreds of photos of victims, a human skull in a closet, and a buried head in the backyard.
Oh,
They
wow.
also found ropes and tools for torture all over the house. Burdella later admitted to all
insane.
6
That's
murders and was sent
terrifying.
to prison for life. He died from heart problems while in prison on October 8, 1992, at age 43.
Yikes.
Charles Cullen. Between 1988 and 2003, Charles Cullen killed as many as 40 patients while working as a nurse
40?
in hospitals across New
How do you
Jersey
kill
and
40
Pennsylvania.
people?
He would give patients
And
deadly
patients,
doses of
too.
medication, especially insulin and the heart
It's
drugs.
probably
He often
because
gave these
I
drugs to
can
patients
feel.
who weren't supposed to have them, causing their hearts to stop
We'll
or making
see.
them fall into a deep sleep and die. Cullen's biggest mistake was not being careful with hospital computer records. At Somerset Medical Center in New Jersey, he kept using the computer system to look up information about patients who weren't his and
No
ordered medicines
way.
he didn't need. The hospital noticed this odd pattern when its tracking system spotted unusual medicine orders and patient deaths. When a patient died with high levels of digoxin that hadn't been ordered for him, hospital staff finally called police in October 2003. When police talked to him, Cullen quickly said he had killed between 30 and 40 patients.
Oh my
claiming he did it
goodness.
to end their pain, though many victims weren't even
Oh,
dying.
I'm
In April
including
2004, Cullen said he was guilty of killing 13
How do I
patients and
invade?
trying to kill 2 others. He got 11 life sentences in a row and can't get out of prison until 2403.
Oh my
Keith Hunter
goodness.
Jesperson. Between 1990 and 1995, Keith Jesperson killed at least 8 women across the United States. The 6'8" truck driver used his job to
6'8",
find victims
he
as
was
drove across
tall.
the country, mostly picking women who worked as prostitutes or who were homeless. Jesperson's first victim was Townja Bennett, killed in January 1990 in Oregon. After meeting her at a bar, he took her to his home, got into a fight with her, and killed her. What made this
Oh my
case
goodness.
strange was that another couple, Laverne Pavlinac and John Sosnovsky, said they did the murder, even though they didn't. Pavlinac
Wait,
made up the
what?
story to get away from Sosnovsky, who was abusive to her, but both ended up in prison. Jesperson's biggest mistake came from his need for attention. He was angry that the wrong people were getting credit for his first murder, so he began writing letters to
Oh,
newspapers
wow.
and police, telling them about
He
his
needed
crimes
attention?
and signing the letters with a
How
smiley
dare
face.
it
This is
be?
why people called him the Happy Face Killer. When these letters didn't get enough attention, he even wrote a confession on a truck stop bathroom wall. Jesperson was finally caught in March 1995 after killing his last victim, Julie Winningham. He turned
Dude,
himself
he
in
was
after
caught?
He knew the police were about to catch him. Jesperson is now in prison for life and can't get out until at least 2063. Alexander
wow.
Pichushkin. Between 1992 and 2006, Alexander Pichushkin killed at least 49 people in Moscow, Russia.
49
The 32-year-old
people?
was called the chessboard killer
people.
because he said he wanted to kill 64 people, one for each square on a chessboard. Pichushkin's
That's
first murder was
Creed.
in 1992 when he was just 18 years old. He killed his classmate and threw the body into a sewer in Bitsa Park. After this murder, he
What a
stopped
crazy
killing for
man.
several years until Russia abolished the death penalty in 1996, which made him feel safer to kill again. Most of Pichushkin's
Oh,
victims
again
were
is-
older homeless people he found in Bitsa Park. near where he lived. Pichushkin's biggest mistake came in June 2006 when he killed his co-worker, Marina Moskalyova. Before going with him, she left a note for her son saying she was with Pichushkin and wrote down his phone number. Even though Pichushkin knew about this note, he still went ahead with the murder. This showed how sure of himself he had become, and it led right
Oh
to
my
his capture
goodness!
when her body was found, and police looked at security cameras. After they caught him, Pichushkin proudly showed
Yeah,
police
true.
where he had killed people and told them all about his murders. In 2007, he was found guilty and sent to prison for life. If you like
Good.
this video, subscribe for similar ones or join my Discord to suggest another.